There's huge changes that happen in your body during pregnancy, and you can often feel really tired in the first trimester, maybe nauseous. So it's nice to do something that will restore your energy and really nourish you and your baby. So for today's class, we have a beautiful slow flow to give you time to gently move and stretch your body, time to connect to yourself and your baby. And all the poses that we'll do in today's class are safe for this stage of pregnancy, but if you do have any concerns, it's always best to speak to your healthcare professional before starting any new exercises. I'm Casey, a mum of 2 little boys and a yoga teacher focused on women's health. All you need for class today is a mat, and if you have a yoga brick, grab that. If you don't, you'll just want something to lift your hips a little bit higher, so that could be like a thick book or a cushion or something like that. Okay, so it's such a beautiful thing to do to practice yoga while you're pregnant. I hope it leaves you feeling really nourished and connected. So we're going to start just sitting down with your legs crossed. Just bring your hands onto your knees, and we're just going to start to rotate around, and the movement is starting from your hips, so really think about that area of your body. Just coming forwards and then back. And close your eyes. You can take little circles, or you might find that you want to take really big circles, just finding as much space in your body as you can. This was always one of my absolute favorite movements to take during my pregnancies. Now let's just circle the other way. I'll take 2 more. And then coming back to center and just placing your right hand down beside you on the mat. Reaching up your left arm. Now you want to draw tall up here through your spine and through your core. And we want to stay lifted as we just stretch over to the side. Now you're going to feel this all the way down the side of your body, and just make sure that this right shoulder is dropping down. It's not coming up towards your ear like that. So let's just take a few breaths here into this nice side stretch. Keep your chest lifted up here. Make sure it's not collapsing down like this. And then we're going to come up and over to the other side. And then just coming back up to center. So we're going to take a seated forward fold now, and this is really nice to just open up through your hips and your inner thighs and the lower half of your body. So you might find for this position that this is where you want to use your yoga block or your book or your cushion or whatever you've got. So basically you want your pelvis to be rotating forwards. So if you're feeling like you're being pulled back a little bit, then that's a really good indication that you're just going to sit up a little bit higher, and that's going to help you enable that motion of tilting forwards. And then from there, so we're just going to cross our legs, we're just going to think about length as we just walk forwards. Just very gently, very slowly, and then just finding that position where you want to hold it. So you might be more upright like this, you might be more down towards the ground. It really doesn't matter. Just finding that position that feels good for you, and also just remembering that your body feels different when you're pregnant. It's going through so many changes. Miraculous things are happening, so just really honor where your body is at every single time that you come to your yoga mat. Take a couple more breaths. And then we're going to do the same, but we're just going to switch legs. So just bringing your other leg so that it's in front now, finding that lift in your spine again, and then just gently inching your fingertips forwards, keeping your long spine, and then just finding that perfect position for your body where you'll hold it. And whichever leg is in front, you will feel that stretch more intensely through that hip on that side of your body. Let's take a few more breaths here. And then just gently releasing out of the pose, just putting your brick to one side if you are using that. And then we're going to come over into tabletop position. So you want your knees wide here, and you want them as wide as your hips. So your alignment is that your hips and your knees are stacked on top of each other, and that your shoulders, elbows, and wrists are aligned here with your fingers spread wide. And we're just going to take a few cat-cows in this tabletop position. So taking a breath in, as you look up, lift your chest, shoulder blades squeezing towards each other, and then exhale, rounding your spine. You're pushing up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And then again, inhale, looking up, and exhale, round. Let's do just a couple more of those. And then from here, just go ahead and step your right foot forwards. So from here, you want your knee and your ankle to be stacked on top of each other. So you might find that you need to shuffle your leg a little bit further forwards or backwards just to find that alignment. And then we're just going to sink down into the hips a little bit. If this feels a little bit too intense, that's okay. You're just going to bring yourself up so that you're resting your hands on your front leg, finding a little bit of support, backing off a little bit. And during pregnancy, we have a lot of relaxin in the body, so you'll find that you're a lot more flexible, perhaps, than you normally are. So just being mindful of the changes in your body always. And then from here, we're just going to come up and we're going to take a hamstring stretch. So you're just coming up onto your heel, drawing your toes up. We're just going to sit the hips back here, and you'll feel that down the back of your leg. And as we hold it here, just try to keep your chest lifted and your spine long once again. A few breaths. And then we're just going to release out of that. Do the same on the other side. So left leg coming forwards, sinking into that stretch once again, feeling it in your hip flexor. And then coming up onto your heel, toes pointing up, and then sitting your hips back now. Finding that stretch down the back of your leg again. Chest lifted, spine long. And then releasing here, And we're just going to take a forward fold. So you can just come to stand on your feet. You want to take your feet wide here. And then we're just going to let the upper body hang. Grabbing hold of your elbows. And we're just going to sway the body a little from side to side. Let your head hang really heavy here so that you get length down the back of the spine. If you find you're getting dizzy, which is common in pregnancy, just very slowly bring yourself out of the pose and you can just come to sit down on your mat. And then just coming out of that once again. And we will take another hip stretch. We'll take a half pigeon here. So just bringing your right foot forwards, extending your left leg back. And then we're just going to bring our body down towards our yoga mat. Feeling this in the outer edge of your hip here. It doesn't matter at all how far you come down. This pose is still great for early pregnancy, and later pregnancy not so good, and your bump will get in the way. But it's a beautiful stretch for you to still practice now while you can. And then just making your way up over onto your hands and knees. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So your left leg coming forwards now. And then extending your right leg back behind you. And then just finding that length and stretch as we melt down towards the yoga mat. Couple more breaths here. And then just gently release. And from here we're going to take a wide leg forward fold. So just taking your legs really wide. Again, this is one where you might want to lift your hips up again, same as what I was talking about in the beginning, where you want that forward rotation of your pelvis. So if you just sit up on that brick, then it allows you that little bit of lift to help you extend forwards. But again, it's not necessary. So you should feel this really deeply through the insides of your thighs here. We're just going to take it nice and gentle so you can stay quite upright. Close your eyes. Feeling into your body, into the stretch. Noticing any changes that you're feeling, any sensations. Just honoring your body, the wonderful thing that it's doing, creating. And I find in those moments when maybe you're not feeling so great, especially in this first trimester, it's nice to just remind yourself of that. And then we'll gently release out of the stretch. Come to lie down on your back. Take your feet as wide as your hips, and we're going to take a bridge pose. So grounding your feet down into your yoga mat, we're going to lift up the hips. Shuffle your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. And then we're going to hold it here for 5 breaths. If anything feels too intense or it's just not feeling right, always come out of the pose. And then we're going to slowly come down, grabbing hold of your knees, so drawing your knees in towards your chest, and we'll just take some little circles through the hips. As you do that, you can ground your lower back down into your mat. And coming back to center, we'll take happy baby, so grabbing the outer edges of your feet or the backs of your thighs here, taking your knees wide, shoulders grounding down into your mat. Deep, long breaths here. A few more breaths. And then release, and we'll take a few moments in relaxation in Shavasana. It's still okay to lie on your back in these early stages of pregnancy. We'll take our arms wide, eyes closed, whole body softening down onto your mat now. If it feels nicer for you, you can bring your hands to your lower belly. Slowing your breath down now. And just honoring your body, the ability to move, rest, restore. And please feel welcome to stay here resting as long as you have time for, as long as you feel you need. Otherwise, just rolling to one side, gently making your way up to a seated position. So that's just a really simple, quick routine that you can practice during early pregnancy when you're looking to connect to your body, to move very slowly, very gently, to stretch, to open out, and hopefully leave you feeling really nice and calm afterwards. Thanks for joining. I'll see you for the next one.